What's going on, everyone? It's the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another fantasy football video. Today I just want to go over 3 quarterback busts on Underdog Fantasy. These guys are just going way too high in my opinion. Their ADP skyrocketing out of control. I just can't take it. I can't draft these quarterbacks anywhere, despite the fact that I actually like some of them as NFL quarterbacks. But before we get into it, if you guys could, go down and give this video a like. I'm answering every single comment. If you guys have any fantasy football questions, leave them down below. I got you. I want to help you guys out as much as possible. And I love talking fantasy football. And subscribe to the channel. Turn that notification bell on so you don't miss another video. With that though, let's hop right into it with our first quarterback. The first guy I want to talk about is Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott, I do like him as an NFL quarterback despite being a Giants fan. I think he's a really nice guy. I mean, the things I hear about him, I love Dak Prescott. And he's had a lot of fantasy success in the past, having 4 top 10 fantasy football finishes, finishing as the quarterback 8, quarterback 2, quarterback 10, and quarterback 7, 4 times since 2016. I just have a problem with the fact that I think this offense is changing schematically in a way that I don't think will help Dak out. I think the fact that they bring in Schottenheimer kind of shows that they want to run the ball more, which is a little bit concerning for Dak Prescott. I do also think they are going to be drafting a running back early on in 2023 after they release Zeke. Will it be Bijan? We don't know, but it's going to be someone, whether it be Gibbs, Charbonnet, anyone. I would not be surprised at all to see them bring in a running back because that's what they want to do. They want to run the ball more. But despite that, Dak Prescott is coming off the board as a QB10, and there are guys behind him that I would much prefer to Dak Prescott. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa is going 10 picks after him, quarterback 11. I would prefer Tua in a vacuum because, I mean, for one, Tua's system is way better. I mean, you have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill in a pass-first offense. How bad could it really be? Plus, I mean, 25 touchdowns in only 13 games. I think Tua's set to explode this upcoming season. We also have Daniel Jones going 15 picks behind him, and I would kind of prefer Dak maybe, but at the end of the day, it's a toss-up, and being 15 picks later and it being a toss-up, I would prefer to take Daniel Jones at that point. Same thing with guys like Kirk Cousins, Trey Lance, Jared Goff. These are all guys that I think could be toss-ups against Dak Prescott, and yet Dak Prescott is going 2 rounds above most of these people. So that's why I feel Dak Prescott is a bust. But I still think he will probably return around where his ADP is. I think he will finish around the quarterback 10, quarterback 11. But I don't think that's anything special. And I would rather wait to take somebody later, especially considering guys like Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, Tua, and Kirk Cousins all average more fantasy points per game than Dak, again, just by going behind him in fantasy. The next guy I want to talk about is Kyler Murray. And yeah, Kyler Murray is going pretty late. He's coming off the board at pick 132. But he's not going to be playing for a part of the season. I mean, almost guaranteed. I think coming off an ACL, especially as such a mobile quarterback that he is, he's not going to be playing the entire season. That is almost guaranteed. And even if he does come back, he's not going to be as mobile because you simply just can't. I mean, how can you expect a guy like Kyler Murray to be supremely mobile when he's going to be scared about his injury, at least to a certain extent? I just can't trust a guy who's not going to be there for training camp, not going to be there for the first part of the season, to return on his value, considering there are other guys with higher ceilings behind him that I would rather just take a shot on at that point. Like Anthony Richardson's going 16 picks behind him. I would prefer to have Anthony Richardson straight up because although I know Anthony Richardson is going to be a rookie, I know Anthony Richardson is going to be electric in terms of rushing the football, which provides him a floor that Kyler Murray would have had he not torn his ACL. But now with the torn ACL and the amount of time he's going to miss, I just can't trust that on Underdog Fantasy, especially when you're shooting for ceiling on Underdog Fantasy. You need guys to be able to start every week to maximize the amount of points you are scoring, considering at this point you could draft Geno Smith, Jared Goff around ahead of him, and have a guy that you're going to start for the full season. The last guy I want to talk about is a guy that I really am scared to fade because he could easily prove me wrong. I mean, he's been a top quarterback every single season of his career except for the last one and the seasons he's gotten injured. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. There's no doubt about that. Arguably a top 5 quarterback of all time. The reason why I'm fading him here, and I really don't want to do this, it's painful to me, but he had such a poor last season. He could just be at an age cliff. He's 39 years old. He's been talking about retiring for a while now. It is a little scary, I'm not going to lie to you. Not only that, but last year was easily the worst season of his career. Yes, he still finished as the quarterback 13, and even though he did play a full 17 games, he only averaged 14.8 fantasy points per game, which is not really that great at the quarterback position. In fact, it's pretty bad. Not only that, he did not score 20 points once during the entire season. Not one time did he throw for a game where he had over 20 fantasy points, which in best ball will wreck you because you need ceiling. You don't need floor. Sure, 15 points is nice to have, I guess, but at that point, I'd rather just have Jacoby Brissett in one of the last rounds of the draft. Or even Matt Stafford, for that matter, going rounds upon rounds later. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is going to be going to a better system with a better wide receiver in Garrett Wilson. I would rather take most of these other quarterbacks around him. I mean, Trey Lance is going in the same range as him, although I know Trey Lance is a huge risk, and also coming off a torn ACL. I'd rather have Trey Lance because the ceiling is just simply so much higher. And also, he tore his ACL week 2. He will most likely be back for the start of the season. I would also rather have Geno Smith and Jared Goff, guys going in a very, very similar range to Aaron Rodgers, but players who have stable situations and are not facing an age cliff. I really hate fading Aaron Rodgers here. He was somebody I debated putting on the list for a while, but I think the data just shows it's hard to draft him at this point, aside from name value. I think he will be fine with the Jets, but I just can't understand him going here with the lackluster season he had this last year. Plus, also going to a new city, a new system. He's been with Green Bay his whole career. We have no idea how this is going to go. Too much risk for me personally, although Aaron Rodgers, phenomenal quarterback, and I really hated putting him here. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it from me. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave this video a like. Again, answering every single comment. You guys have any questions, let me know. And subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on so you don't miss another video. With that, though, as always, have a good day, a good night, and a good life.